May.
All right, this is the 22nd of May, 2019. We are with Ontario People's Political Party Deputy Leader Troy J. Young, Daniel Treyas from Paul Ainsley's office. We are here with Shala, Shalahravak, and that's a AF, that's the property manager from Toronto Community Housing, and Kwendekembagayme, and she is the community safety manager. And there's a letter I received from the property manager here that says the property manager and community safety advisor, Kiwana, would like to meet with you regarding your tenancy at the management office located at 4301 Kingston Road at Toronto Community Housing and Dell Management. We want every tenant to be successful, and we would like to work with you to resolve these issues. We have addressed the office numerous times to find what the issues is, and if they could email it to us, we did not receive any reply. We are scheduling this meeting on Monday, May 13th, 2019 at 9:30 a.m. It is imperative that you attend this meeting as it pertains to your tenancy. And if you have any reason you are unable to attend this meeting, please notify and contact the center. Initially, this letter came May 8th, and that was 2 days after I had an altercation with the property manager, but I wouldn't consider an altercation because the door was closed. I was on the other side. There was a lady and a child waiting outside. It was just after 4 p.m. When the lady and the child knocked, no one answered. I in turn knocked, and as soon as this lady saw me, she was wearing a hijab. I was wearing a robe that gives the impersonation of Christianity, a robe I have worn for the past 20 years of my life since the Pope came to Toronto for the Toronto World Youth Day. She in turn told me I had to take it off. I have to take off the garments I wear. I in turn said, take off. Why should I take off the clothes I'm wearing? She said, well, you can't wear that. At that point, I said, man, I'm just here to talk about the large amount of dog poo and the large amount of litter by the child care center out in the front. At that point, she came verbally speaking out about I can't wear the garments I was wearing. So I walked away and I left. And then I received a second letter on Friday. And this letter was from my neighbor. And it was the exact letter as this letter I received with a different date. And the neighbor said that she received that letter on her door, but it has my name on it. So she gave me that letter on Saturday. So we are finding out here today at Toronto, what is the issue Toronto Community Housing have with me.
Okay, I will talk.
Yes.
First, my name is Shala. I'm the property manager. I'm the person who sent the letter to. The day that I came and opened the door, because somebody was knocking on the door, and I came and opened the door. I saw you before I opened the door. I saw you that crossing the road with the rope, and it was so dangerous. I wasn't sure what is happening because you were walking with the coming traffic. And like I said, I was worried. I called security and said, I think this man's life is in danger. He's wearing something white.
Let her speak. You said it.
That's what I said. I called security, and security said, well, I called a special constable. And they said, is he on the property? I said, no, he's crossing the road. But it is very dangerous that he's walking the road like this. They said, you have to call police. I said, you know what? I'm not going to call police because the man is passed already. I'm not going to worry about it. His life is not in danger anymore. And then you came and knocked on the door, and I said, yes. I said, what's you wearing? Take off what you have. And you said that, well, it is. I said, you know what? I'm sorry, but you cannot put the sign here and there. This is what I said. And you said that you're here for the other tenant because the other tenant was saying that they needed something. And I spoke to tenant, and it is what it is. And you said you're here for the tenant. And I said, okay, thank you. We went like that. You said this is human right, that you're going to do something about it and all this. This is what you said.
No, that's what I know. That's on the second when I came down and gave a letter to you. I gave a letter to this lady. In this letter I gave here,
yes,
that I gave to you on May 10th. and it was inquiring, and it was summarizing what I just summarized,
Yes.
right? The exact same thing, and I was inquiring what the meeting was about. So at the bottom, I did ask that if there is other reasons for this meeting to be scheduled, then, and you understand there. So we asked to find out what it is. So how does it affect my tenancy, right? This here is an area where everyone crossed the street here to go to the plaza across the street.
Yes.
So do you call the police or security
No.
every time you see someone crossing
When
the street?
I saw you that one, and especially with the white dress and everything, I was just wondering what is happening.
Well, imagine.
What is your safety? And then that's what I said. I didn't call police. I called CSU,
Yeah.
the special constable. I called because I said, okay, maybe someone needs to come and talk to him. But when you came on the door, there was nothing. Then yes, I told you to take it off, but sir, at the same time, you said that this is a human right.
No,
and you
that
go
was the
here.
second day, the day after the incident. Now, let me ask you a question. There, if a man named Jesus was in a white robe and he was crossing the road and he comes across the road and knock at your door, would you tell him to take his robe off?
Well, I've never seen
Yeah, but
anybody wearing the same clothes.
Of course,
Like I
because
said,
nobody else is me. I'm an individual.
So, Mr.
Yeah,
Clarke,
yeah.
may I interject, please?
Yes.
Will you allow me?
Yes.
It sounds like it was a misunderstanding. I think what Shala, if I may, Shala,
yes.
if I may, sir, I think her intention was your safety in a sense where she thought the loose cloth might get you caught up. So that's what I'm getting. But no, I
Yes.
hear you. I hear you. Your concerns are valid. I get it. Perception is perception. Perception. May I? The reason why you're here is not to do with any of that.
Please.
The reason you're here, sir, regarding your tenancy is that at Toronto Community Housing, you're our tenant.
Yes.
We have your best interest at heart.
Yes.
We're here for you. You're our tenant.
Yes.
Our duty is to make sure you're safe
Yes.
and everybody else in the building is safe. Number one.
Yes.
Right? You guys. Secondly, we want ourselves who come to work here and spend most of our time at work with you guys to also be safe.
Yes.
So moving forward, my concern was there are two things. Number one is the incident that happened on January 22nd.
January.
I'll give you a little bit of refreshing.
Was that the pizza party we had for the
No,
children?
that was it. Okay. No, which was a good idea also. But
It's
anyway,
not an idea. It's what I do.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So apparently on January 22nd, you came downstairs to the room here where one of the contractors lady was sitting down in there, and you asked if you could come in the room, and she said yes, you could. Do you recall that day?
No, January 22nd. I can
Tuesday.
get
It was a Tuesday.
the incident I believe you're speaking about is an incident about windows that are being repaired, and the large amount of complaints I receive from tenants that says that afterward, when the windows are being replaced, but then the walls, we did this same thing here. We sent to Councillor Ainsley's office, and it was a tenant on the third floor who was waiting 6 months for their windows to be replaced for them to do the plaster. A sign came to my door, and it was on every single door. And it says tenants who are having their windows replaced, kindly leave your home and go down into the meeting room. So in turn, I says, down to the meeting room. Okay, so we took the sign, record the sign, and we record where the meeting room is and where do they want people now to reside while their windows are being replaced. And when I went into the office, it was not a meeting room for the tenant. It was an individual from Toronto Community Housing who was sitting down in that room that's supposed to be a meeting room for the tenants doing her work. And at that point, I inquired, is this supposed to be a meeting room for the tenants? She said, oh, no. She says, well, I'm a subcontractor or whatever. The videotape can be given to you. There was no intention to videotape anyone. The only intention was to see where they were having tenants placed while they take their windows. So if you
video record.
Yes, we have that. That's no problem.
So may I read the report?
Yeah.
You have an idea. Unfortunately, I can't give it to you. If you wanted, you can go through the freedom of information.
Yeah,
whatever.
don't. Well, you have
I won't
to
read it you.
remember, I am also seeking the head of Toronto Community Housing, and it is my campaign to fix Toronto Community Housing, right? So it is to see that Toronto Community Housing becomes an effective place for people to work and for people to live, but most importantly, for children to grow and play if they have to live in that environment. So the environment that goes against the needs of the children, those environments we must change.
Which is what you said here. So basically, in this conversation with this contractor, you said that you had some concerns and you stated that you're a politician with the city of Toronto.
No, I didn't. I said I am a tenant
And then
here.
it says, let me
Yeah.
finish, sir.
Okay, go.
Let me finish reading it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
No, okay. Oh, so this is what someone says.
Yeah, so the report is
Yeah.
what the report is saying. So I'm just going.
Okay, good.
This is not the Bible.
We know that. We know that.
So this is very flexible. I just want to let you
I
know
got
what
it.
was said, sir. Right?
Well, you have to remember, my tenancy is not flexible. I waited 11 years
Oh, I know.
for housing,
I remember.
and I am in extreme health issues
Right.
from the years of homelessness. But I do also have a passion, and my passion is to see that children can play and grow in a proper environment.
And we all feel the same way here too.
Hopefully.
No, trust me.
Oh.
We are the soldiers
Well,
too, right?
you have to remember, you are community housing, but my best friend, okay, is the largest property manager in Canada.
Who's that?
Sam Colias, if you Google him. That is my best friend. So he is the largest property management. So that means he's also my mentor, and he also gives me guidance. So that means that I learn a lot from him about property and how properties are supposed to maintain. But the key to Sam is that he's also the friendliest landlord in Canada. Okay, so to be a friendly landlord, he must know what he's doing. So every altercation I have had is I contact him. Now, there's two buildings, 75 Silver Springs and 4,000 Lawrence. You go to both of those places, now you can eat off the floor. But because of how my housing is and through a mental health agency, I was shoved out of each of them for getting repairs and maintenance done. And for each place, it costs over $1 million just from the work we orchestrate to get done. Like, my concern is that when you do all the work done, the work should not be for the convenience of the contractors or for the time the contractors are available.
Yes.
It should be for the convenience of the tenants. And if it's inconvenient for the contractor, then we try to make a time that's convenient for both the tenants and the contractors. But we are listening to this, but there's one thing more important than this, and I hope the property manager see it's been done. I came yesterday morning and spoke to the lady about the large amount of dog poo right across from your office. There's over 20 bags. I also took a video of it on Friday, and I sent a copy to you in the city, but your email is not working. I have a grandmother that has 2 grandkids, and I don't remember a kid's name, but yesterday, day before, they came to me looking for a piece of board, 2 pieces of board. And they said, so what? She says, we got to make a sign. So they came back after, and they did not have any holes for the sign. So I says, I will put the holes in the sign for you. So I put the holes in the sign and eventually gave it back to them. And they're now going to put signs up there. One of the signs says, please clean up after your animals, children at play. And the other sign says, please, whatever it says. I have a photo and a video of the signs. So we should not have where it takes 5 days to clean up dog feces off children's playground.
Yes.
Okay, so I hope you can have one of your workers, since we have 1, 2, 3 Toronto community housing staff. Can you have someone clean it up, or all 6 of us can go out there after this meeting and clean it up and put it in the garbage, and then you can put a note to see that there is properly maintained. If you own a dog in Toronto community housing, you must walk your dog to and from your unit, and you should be only allowed to have your dogs on the dog park, because there's 2 over there, and you should only be allowed to have your dog on concrete. If it's a grassy area, you cannot have your pets on there, because children play on the grass, not on the concrete. And if poo, your dog run around and leave on the grass, you're not going to find it. So walk on the concrete, go in the dog park, but don't go on the playground. And there's a big field over there if you want to walk your dog.
May I proffer a suggestion? Perhaps a notification to the tenants to please pick up after their dogs. I didn't see one when I came in.
No, it's a constant. We do this often, so every once in a while, the notices go to each floor, each unit, and we have signage.
And one public notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Just
the
curiosity.
notice should only go to those people who have dogs. So you should, when they come in, it's just like you have.
Your friends have
yeah,
dogs
no,
too,
but
so
who?
they bring them
Yeah,
in
yeah, but
occasionally,
that's
right?
a
So,
great.
Kevin, just so you know,
Yeah.
last night we had a meeting, and one of the suggestions Shella had a while back when I was here last week, she said that you know the back area over there where there's space.
There's two fence.
Yeah.
There's two
So
fencing
the
areas.
suggestion is to have a little doggy park.
There's already two doggy parks
No,
there, right? Right
on our property.
on your property,
Yeah.
there's already two.
Well, not
Unless-
technically, no, there isn't any.
Oh well, right there I saw two
It might
areas.
be a dog
That's
in
where
there.
it's metastasized to over the
Right.
years, but it's not an official.
Ah,
space.
yeah, because
So we want to make it official, and what the expectation was in the meeting, Charlotte said that the tenants would be the one maintaining it. Now, in the meeting there, people actually said, okay, we'll give it a try, and if it doesn't work, then we'll shut it down. The point is, though, we're trying to figure out and be creative like yourself and figure out what best ways to support this doggy doo-doo stuff. Because it's a lot. I agree with you. It's like everywhere.
well, there's two fenced area over there. I thought they were dog parks because I saw people playing with their dogs in there. But then the next day I saw kids in there.
Yeah.
So a place where
It's
you have
terrible.
kids are not allowing dog parks, so dogs should not be allowing kids playground.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a big field that's over there. That's the provincial property, and it's an health issue if you have kids playing around dog
Absolutely.
flu,
Absolutely.
especially since you have a child care service
Absolutely.
here, right? So maybe you can contact the province and say maybe you can turn a portion of
You know
that
what the province
area.
been doing these days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the federal government just sent down $1 billion towards repairs to TCH and loans and grants and whatnot.
Right.
$1 billion.
Well, we
worth.
don't.
So
Yeah, but
We'll
the,
part
figure
of
it out.
that can be
Yeah.
apportioned off, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Kevin, just want to let you know, we did not assign it as a dog park yet. When this happened, I will have a poster there, something to say this is a dog park, and it will be tenants' owners' responsibility to clean up.
yeah, but there. Oh, but
That's
that's
what I was saying
yeah.
yesterday in the meeting.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
we're gonna have it for a while, and if no one is cleaning, we're gonna take it out. As I was
No,
telling
they're
yesterday.
yeah, they're asking.
Sorry, Kevin.
Oh, sorry.
I
Go ahead.
just wanna
Yeah,
say
but
that-
if it's owner's responsibility. Yeah. Oh, sorry. But okay, but TCHC has a responsibility to all tenants. So if owners do not fulfill their responsibility according to the lease, then it's for TCHC to clean up the pool. So you have to go every single day. You have to go to wherever you know children play or wherever you know tenants frequent. You have to have someone that specifically go around and look for litter, poo, or anything that can harm people.
So it
Right.
has to be incorporated as a general part of the maintenance
Yeah,
stuff.
there you go.
It has to be like sort of a daily thing where they just sort of throw eyes on it at least once a day.
Yeah, and if you keep
I think what we're trying to do is that I think I'm a believer of community development and engagement. That's my
Yeah.
background. My background is gangs and that.
There you go.
So I've always believed that it's important for us to build our tenants' capacity.
Mhm.
I feel in Toronto housing, and I live in housing. I was used to live in Teesdale before. And
10
a single
Teesdale?
mother and 30 Teesdale,
Oh.
and a single mother on mother's allowance. So I've been through the channels, right? So I get it. It's important for us to really support our tenants, and I believe in hand up, not hand out. My challenge since I've been at housing, I'm saying this, you're recording it, is that I feel we as housing haven't done a good job at that. I feel that oftentimes, just to make our tenants quiet, we do stuff.
That's
And I don't think that's fair to our tenants because we're not embracing their ability
yeah.
and their skills that they bring. I used to work at Glendower, Steele's
That's where I just came from.
Steele's Lamoureux, and I was part of the ANC, actually for neighborhood change.
Oh.
And we built the capacity for our tenants by giving. So
One-
my background is about capacity building.
1 second.
Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
So for this part, reason why we came up with it, I agree. It's our duty as the landlord to take care of it. Our goal was to entice and embrace and let the tenants be able to take ownership of something. For me, that they're in dogs, animals are more loved than human beings. And I know
Nowadays.
why. And I get why. So we want to make sure maybe that would give them opportunity to take ownership, because I find that sometimes our tenants, we could treat them better in a way and utilize their skills, and we don't. I think there's so much skills, hence one sitting down right here, who has ability to do stuff. So that's where the intention came from. It came from a place of goodness, right? Not let the tenants clean it up, or that wasn't the intention. It was like ownership.
I got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now you just mentioned Steele's Lamoureux.
Ah,
After 6-7 months, I was finally able to get to my mother's on Sunday,
really?
and my mother informed me that she just received another award for her 27th year volunteer services at Steele's and Lamoureux Senior Services.
That's
Now
amazing.
you also mentioned Steele's Lamoureux.
Yeah.
I went to Lamoureux
Really?
Collegiate.
You did not.
Yes.
Oh my God. Talk about roundabout history.
Yes,
That's it.
and my mother has been very instrumental in the community there. She also won an award last year just for she volunteers and she works at Renaissance Treatment Center. So she knows how to deal with the things that create adversity.
So the apple don't fall far from a tree, I guess.
No, well, she taught me awesome, right? She taught me awesome. I'm thankful that I made a mistake. I'm thankful I made a mistake of not listening to my mother. I'm very thankful because God has given me some strength to persevere and never gave me more than I can bear. And now I can say to the kids, I was wrong in not listening to my mother, and I'm very thankful now that I did. But listen to your parents, but only when they do good. So if it's good, because you know the difference between good and bad, right? So if they're doing something wrong, then speak out about it. Go to someone, talk to someone, right? But if it's all for the good or for your interest or someone else's interest, always listen to your parents.
So, sir, with due respect for your health and our time, for your time,
Yes.
may I continue with this?
Yes.
So the issue here, the concern is that we want to make sure you moved here on November 16, 2018.
November 1st or something. Yeah. Go ahead.
16. I was looking at the
Okay, go.
sign
Yeah,
the
yeah,
lease,
yeah.
right? I'm OCD like you.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
very
go ahead.
particular.
Yeah.
And from November till now, things have been okay. We want to make sure it stays that way,
Yes.
right?
As-
We want to make sure how we can utilize you also in a
Yes.
way where we can embrace your skills in our community. At the same time, Mr. Clarke, we would ask that for you to stop putting signage up there, painting and stuff, because that's technically
I don't.
considered.
No, I don't paint.
Well, I'm not sure what it is. So
I
you,
don't-
you
see,
educate me on it. What is this, sir? Please explain what
what
this is. What can
that-
yeah, what is this? What do you use?
That's a garbage bag.
No, what's the this is? What do you use? What is this?
Oh, okay.
Right.
Paint on the garbage bag.
Right. But
Okay.
it's still put on into our property.
Oh, I didn't know this was right on the side of the road. Right. We also put one here that says Children's Pizza Party. Right. So exact same sign as
My
that.
question is, sir,
Is
were you able to get permission from the property manager at all to
Which,
post it?
from where?
In order for us to post anything, we're supposed to get permission to post.
Yeah, there was nothing posted on the property.
Okay. But sir, you're very well
Yeah,
known
but there was-
about what.
Yes.
But the rule states that as long as he's not on your property, he can
But this
put his
was-
advertising anywhere that he so chooses in a public space.
Where was this?
So what's this?
Where was this,
This
sir?
is our property.
Right.
So
How's
is that on
Yeah.
the fence?
No, but this is on the public side.
No, it's still
This
our
is a fence.
Okay, so
property.
okay, so
well, the
oh,
action-
but we already rectified that because we anticipate that may have been an issue and it may have been political. So what we did was we moved our signage up to what's it? Where you at?
Galloway.
Where you live?
I
No.
get to look at it every day.
Yeah, he gets to look at it every day.
Thank you
So
for the balloon.
so
Oh, balloons.
we anticipated that from past experience that fence could possibly have been your property, and you probably. But I would say that putting up a sign should not affect my tenancy because you have so much people putting up signs. If you see it all over the building, so if you have one sign there and you're
Let me ask a question, a more specific question to that. If okay, because there's a federal election coming up,
Right.
if a federal candidate came into this building and handed out signs and people put them in their window, would that be allowed?
Are we allowed to do that? I don't know politics. We're not allowed
No,
to.
no, I'm just saying if
I don't
a
think we're-
federal candidate came for this riding, came into this building and spoke with your tenants and handed out signs and cards and they decided to put it in their window or may put it on a door or something outside their door, is that allowable in
No,
TCH?
I tell them, I send a letter to them that we do not.
But they're
do
allowed,
that
because if
sign.
it is their window, they
Also,
put it
when
inside
they
their
come
window.
and put the sign,
Right,
because
yeah.
we had
It
2
is.
years ago, it was election also, there was sign in
Yeah,
our
we
party,
removed it.
we had to remove it.
Okay, so then ultimately then there's no signage on property whatsoever. So if you adhere to that, Kevin, but
No,
for the
no, but that's not the law.
outside-
We only when it comes to the election. No, when it comes to elections, we abide by the laws that
Yes.
are put down by Elections Canada,
Yes.
Right.
and in turn the laws that are enforced by Elections Toronto. The City of Toronto, which is the Municipal Elections Act, because you govern over sign bylaw. So when it comes to signage, I abide by whatever the municipal government says, because the law in Canada is you can put up signs anywhere provincially or federally or municipally, but the sign bylaw is governed by the city of Toronto.
And we're the city.
No, you're Toronto Community Housing.
We're the city.
Yeah, no.
It's more representative of the city
No,
than
but I'm
you
saying,
are, right?
I'm technically
So,
speaking, we're under the city also. We
Yeah.
are,
No, but you don't govern over the sign bylaw.
Okay.
Toronto, I know we're not, but I'm just telling you.
argue with it.
Yeah.
My expectation, sir, with
Yeah.
all due respect, is that to us.
But we already
this is-
rectified that. We're not going to put.
Yeah. So all I'm asking,
Yeah.
please.
As I told Danny, that it may be politically motivated, and as you can
It's
see,
not even political.
well, it is the
Any
one.
sign it should
Look,
be
it's
up.
the one sign that says Kevin. But how about the
Sir,
sign?
it could say baby
But
stroller
do
for sale.
Do
We
you
still
have?
remove
Do you,
it.
okay.
Right?
Do you have any other signs that were put up? Any other photos of signs?
No, because you're the only one
Okay,
that had
so
these
you
signs.
have what? You have one sign that says Member of Parliament,
Right.
but we have a photo of every sign that we put up, and one sign says no one needs to go hungry. Another sign says combat poverty. Another sign says love covers all. So,
So
yeah.
we get that.
So,
We-
but
it
but
cannot
how
be
come?
on our properties,
Oh,
what
we
we're
know
saying.
that. We know that.
That's all. I
We-
love what you're saying.
yeah,
It's
we-
a great message.
we know that, and we-
Nobody's arguing with that.
We already anticipated that, so that's why we already moved up to where you at? Where you? Lawrence and Kingston Road, because the beauty of that is God used something here that was pretty inappropriate. Well, to threaten someone's tenancy because they put up a sign that says.
First of all,
I know.
we're not
It's not a threat.
threatening.
I know, but from the letter I received,
It's not a threat at all.
Look at
sir.
the letter.
Oh, we're apologizing.
look
We
at the
took
letter.
Yeah.
It is
I expressed those
imperative.
concerns that there was no
Yeah.
indication of what the issue was.
Y-
in the
Yes,
letter.
yes.
Not at
Okay.
all, sir. Not at
So
all.
yes, so basically we have already rectified that. But
Yeah.
back to the fence.
Right.
There is an issue with your fence in reference to community safety and children's safety, and we hope you'll address it. The fence seems like there was an accident or a car ran into the fence, and I will show it to the councilor's representative here.
Oh, the rent right here.
Where-
I think.
No,
that one? Oh.
this one here, as this thing here has been broken off,
Mhm.
and this is hanging right into your property.
Really?
So when children are playing, if they're running down the side, they will run right into this metal bar. And it's just before you get to the Ritz restaurant, about
Oh,
10,
down there.
yeah, about 10 feet in, there's a big hole in the fence. So if people are
On our
walking,
property?
yes,
We'll go there and check. We'll go
Yeah.
check. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like there was an accident or something. A car ran into it,
Wow.
the big pole, and they never repaired the fence. And that needs repair.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Came
because
up in our meeting as well.
because kids can go right through it,
And get hurt.
or animals can go right
Right,
through.
right. Absolutely. So are we? So first of all,
Oh yeah, with that we don't.
apology if you felt the letter was threatening. That wasn't our intention at all.
Okay.
At all. So I apologize to you if you felt that way. So I hope you accept my
So
apology.
young one, as long as the kids,
You call me young one.
as long as the
Like
kids,
him.
as long as the kids can play
Yeah.
and they can grow property,
Yeah.
okay, I can subdue to even the greatest injustice to me personally, because I have been through some of the greatest injustice, and I do not wish it on any child. But I'm very thankful that it was me. But it did cost me things like my liver, my kidneys, my eyesight, and it did cost me my health. But I can use that to see that kids are aware of what the repercussions of whatever decisions they make are. Right? We want to put together a children's festival by the gazebo for June 27th, for June 20th.
We have one happening every
No,
year.
you have one that's put on by the city or put on by counselor,
counselor comes
by the
up.
counselor's office. I'm putting on something where a tenant says, I will invest this into the children of the community. I need the parents in the community to assist. It's called a Children's Unified Friendship Festival. And Mr. Colas, he has granted me $300. And I said, I just want somewhere it's basic, where they design games, everything. It's not like the ones where the counselor put on, where they bring in their big jumping bags, they bring in their
Doesn't have to be
big,
that
they
large,
bring in
yeah.
all
Don't
these
have
things
all
that cost money. And so I put a post through social media, and I asked for all different games that kids can play that are free, different activities they can do that's free. And the grandmother upstairs with the two children who were concerned about the dog poo, she and her child is going to orchestrate it.
So my question is, if it's on TCC property, have you gone to the proper channels to make sure you have access to that space?
We're going through all the proper channels.
Yes,
And who would-
he has in the past when he had the pizza feed out and whatnot and
Yeah.
everything.
Just so
So
make
he
sure you
knows the
support it.
steps to take.
Okay,
Yeah, so
that's
don't
all you
worry.
support
We-
it,
we-
right?
Yeah.
Sorry,
You should support
I understand last time you got the use of a space form, but this time, because it seems that it's bigger event, I want you to connect with David Morales.
Yes.
Yes, so send me
David Morales?
Yeah, he's
I
an
will give you
engagement
all,
person.
all his information.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if you see on the poster that he put for yesterday's meeting, you see his number.
I don't
and
get
his email
young one. My main,
I'm jealous
a young
now.
one. The pains I go through. I could not go and see my mom, who lives in Nielsen and Shepherd, for the past 8 months because I could not even stand to travel. And every single month I have to travel from here down to downtown, and I've done 19 months consecutive of homeless hunger feed out, to where I put in my money. And I buy all the food. I put the people together. Troy made about 15. And where we go down and we feed people who are homeless and hungry in the streets. And for me to do that, it takes me 20, 30 days just to prepare my body. Just to prepare. I have to get, like for this meeting this morning, I had to get up this morning at 5:30. And from 6 o'clock till 9:30. Ask Troy when he came.
Yeah.
My movement was there that I still haven't even had my shower. So I don't move too well. And at the last feed out, I left my walking stick down there.
No, when you were saying, that's why I said his email is there too.
Oh, yes.
You can. I know you're much easier with the email
Yes.
and than phone call. Therefore, his email address is up there too.
Yes.
You can email him, but please tell him in advance
We will.
that what has happened, that you can talk to him.
Yeah,
Maybe he will have some different organization also to come and
Yes,
help with
but
you.
right.
but we want it to be the focus where it's not a corporate event.
No,
Where-
no,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not to be.
I know, yeah,
we want to build it generically from the ground up.
Where-
Take the
where-
tenants
where-
of the
yeah.
building.
And that's
Where
what
it-
we
where
want.
it's- yes, where
That's
the
what I
tenants
was
are.
trying to
Building
remember.
of 1011 Lansdowne.
Right.
We had a meeting with our MPP there yesterday, and everything seems to be working forward. So, and Kevin's doing the same thing here, trying to get the community involved.
Remember what I said about capacity building?
Yes.
We're all about that.
That's it.
So
That's-
we're
and so we're all on
100%
the same
with
page.
you.
with
Yes,
that
That's
one.
what we want to do too.
Yeah.
And I think the ownership is the tenants. That's what we would like to see.
Yeah.
Right.
What's that going to do with the carpets?
Oh,
Oh,
that's,
carpet is going to be
major.
removed.
But when though?
Supposed to happen on November 2017, but
It was supposed to happen a year ago.
Yeah.
A year ago supposed to happen, but because of short
Can you
program
provide
and
him with a
replacing
capital
all
plan
the
for the next
windows
year?
and this, that's why they
But-
postponed it.
I don't think we're
It
allowed
is
to do that.
pending on this window.
But the carpet is on the interior of the
I
building.
don't know that stuff,
Don't
Troy. I'm
forget,
sorry.
it's
I-
like the window from outside inside.
I know, but yes, we understand that. And so you don't want to put in new carpet and then do the
We're
window.
not going to put carpet at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remove
New
the
flooring.
carpet, there would be new flooring.
Right.
Yeah, so that
More safe.
So-
Mike, a question which leads to all of this: are you allowed to either post or give him a copy of the capital plan for the next year?
No.
no, wait, no.
Because
Those
in my building, hang on,
Yeah, no,
they're
but Troy-
required
Troy-
by law
Yeah.
now because of the Landlord Licensing Act that went through last year. They're required by law to post their capital plans.
Yes.
Well,
So
that's-
why shouldn't TCA?
those are
post
things.
it?
Those are
Yeah.
things we can get through the head
Can you
office.
check into it? That's all I'm asking.
Because you say you don't want to get into all the political, where we dealt with the issues. Yeah, so let's just deal with the main thing is that fence. It's all
Yes.
busted out.
Okay, that's all I'm
Yeah,
asking.
we have to
Danger
have
of the bar coming out. And the second thing is just the dog fence.
Okay, so there hasn't been any.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
so that's all
So
we're
the
at.
permit is you have
Yeah,
to have to
yeah,
allow
and I've
those
already,
to happen.
so I'm being told that
Once
there's
that you haven't
a
yet-
misunderstanding with
hasn't
the
been-
tendency.
She
We
apologized.
can argue about it because we have to move
I
forward.
mean, it hasn't been.
Alright, so
Right.
keep
Yeah.
it up.
Pending
Right.
approval, yes.
Okay, so start talking, Daddy. I'll put you on my. Okay, so I'll do it, wrap it up, and we're gonna move forward.
Yeah.
That's it.
It
All
needs it. It should have been gone a long time ago.
And
Yeah.
we have order for it already.
Yeah.
All right, so what?
So that was it. So the
Yeah.
concern was, first of all, your interaction with the woman in there.
I got that. Yeah.
And I was reading it. I wasn't able to finish it. It was basically that she said that let me know if this is what happened. So I'm telling you what. Okay. So she says
Okay.
you came in there, you entered the room, and you asked if you could stay, and she advised that it was okay. Then she said you identify yourself as Kevin Clarke, and then you said that you work for the city or politician,
No.
and that you reported that you had concerns regarding the construction issue.
Mhm.
And then she stated that she understood where you were coming from, and that for you to speak to Dell management. She also stated that she would email his concerns to the property manager. Then it said Mr. Clarke remained in the recreation room for the next 10 minutes and kept asking the employee for her name and what her job description was. Then it says the lady felt intimidated that he had his cell phone out in front of him and appeared to be recording her. He also stated that he would have to show this to Doug Ford and John Tony as he was leaving the recreation room. Again, sir, I'm reading what the report says.
Okay, well, but it doesn't make no sense then. Oh, it's like I came in here to record you, a small employee sitting there in a small office.
No, she didn't say she
Why?
did. She didn't say she did. It felt like she did.
It felt like, yeah, well, we all have feelings. Okay.
So then it says, apparently special constable attended your apartment,
Yes.
907, and spoke to Mr. Clarke.
Yes.
He stated that you said that you had attended the recreation room, and there was a posted notice throughout the building stating, "Do you need a place to stay
Exactly.
during?"
There you go.
Right. The main floor between 8:30 and 4 p.m.
Just as
Monday
I
to
said.
Friday. He also acknowledged to having a conversation with a construction employee, but denied recording her. He claimed that he was only recording the posted notices, and that they were posted in the hallways. He was advised that Mr. Requested that the videotape that you did allegedly, if you could please not put it on social media. And that was it. He again denied having any footage of her, and he cleared the call. So validated what you
Yes,
said.
she may have gone through, but the footage, the video was about the incident with the sign. So while you're going, maybe you walk in and your image comes, but you're an employee of Toronto Community Housing, and it's a community housing issue. So you should not have had anyway, because now it's a public forum. Because you say any tenant who wishes a place to stay during the thing. So now that's a public room. So you can't expect a sense of privacy in a public environment, right? So
question. He indicated that he asked her to identify herself, name and title, right? Because she's obviously
which she should have, but she didn't.
But she
If
chose
she
not to
feels-
identify herself.
Right.
But even at that rate, should she not have identified who she was contracting for?
If she felt intimidated and she felt her safety,
But she,
go
go ahead. Yeah.
If she felt intimidated and she didn't have to, she could have referred her to her boss. But I'm just saying, her right also is if she felt threatened, her safety's at risk, she can deny that and can ask her to contact the supervisor. They would do that.
What I've noticed in the past
Yeah.
is when a
No,
person
no,
doesn't
it's
say
not about the
who
sign
it
now.
was
That's
the
not
first
on
time,
a video.
and you ask them a second time for clarification, that's when they start to
Yeah. But that's all right. It's
All right,
We
and
had-
I think
we
that's a
weren't there,
case
right?
of what
Right,
happened
right.
here. I think it's a case of
Can I
where.
speak to about what you're done about the video recording? Because when we have meetings,
Yes.
we give tenants an opportunity to, if they want to wear a do not record
Yes.
button.
nice.
And so tenants, staff, everyone has the right to request that they not be recorded. It's just courtesy that we give
But-
you, that we would expect to. Not because whether it's a tenant in the main lobby or staff,
Yes.
I just think just respectfully,
Yeah.
if you ask them, they decline.
Well, we don't record. We
even
don't.
though they're
Yeah,
in a public space,
The only thing.
they may say,
Well,
please
the
don't do that.
recording
They
is
can
actually
report,
not the issue
I'm
that I'm
just-
talking about.
but that might have added to the
I think
her
yeah,
sense
Yeah,
of
in a sense of
Yeah.
okay,
what's
so
going
okay,
on,
I'm just
what's
trying to get a
this
better
for?
picture.
Are you
of
gonna
what was
post
going
it on
so-
social
Right.
media?
Or unless you was contracting a cash pay basis, and yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. But we're not. There was no intention
No,
there.
no, it was obvious. It was obvious, but I get it.
Yeah, the only thing we record is if it's a repair or a maintenance or a security issue, such as like the drunk in the hallway peeing all
Yeah,
over.
thanks for that picture.
Yeah, you know who it is now, right?
Yeah, no, you
But you know him. He lives.
I don't know him. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he lives in the building. So those are the only times, right? And in reference to the signage, we use chalk. So the only place there'll be any sign is on sidewalk.
I've seen your artwork.
Huh?
I've seen your artwork.
Yeah, well, so,
Do you do that yourself?
yes, ladies work. Yes, well, it's you know what it is, right? I'm putting drywall on the sidewalk.
Please don't film like
You see those walls? If these walls come down, when I was homeless, I didn't have this wall. Okay, so I didn't have this wall. So when I used the chalk. No, the chair's good. No, you don't. The chalk chalk represents the home I never had. So now, if you are homeless and you lie on the chalk, you can say, at least I got drywall around me. But it's tough work to do because you got to take the drywall, break it down, then you have to put it in a blender, blend it up with, then you got to blend it up with water, and then it becomes liquid, and then it becomes liquid chalk. Now when you put it down, if I put it down here and you walk on it, your footsteps from the chalk is going to go there. But once it dries, if you walk on it, it stays like paint. And the only time it comes off is when it rains. So,
Wow.
yeah, so that's it's going to be by his corner.
It's impressive.
Hey, well, God has directed me well, right? But to wrap it up, can we do? We're only concerned about the pool and the fence, and you're concerned about the signage. And we won't put no signage up, and you're concerned about videotape of contractors or employees. There will be. There won't be. There's never any.
See, I don't care. You can videotape me. I'm
And
good.
it's not.
So I'm real.
Stop it, y'all.
So I don't care. And you know what, sir? It's really an honor meeting you.
One left.
I've heard
Excellent.
the people at Glen have respect for you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, all of them.
They are
there,
there.
right? Miss Steele and all of them.
Well,
People, right? You know it, right?
Miss
So,
Celia,
so it's been an honor meeting you in person. And so just, look, if you're going to post anything, permission. And if
Yeah.
political, we can't post political stuff.
No, everything, and when it comes to the politics, everything we do goes within Elections Canada and the bylaws that's put forth by the City of Toronto. So whatever the signs, right, you have to, because you have to remember, I went through it and they use the sign thing one day to get me away from 4,000 Lawrence after I got 1 million and some repairs done. And what hurt so bad was when I went back to the building and I do the rounds, that because of my health, I'm not able to do here what I do. I like to go up to every single stairwell, up to the out top of the floor, across every single stairwell, and to make sure that the repair, the maintenance, and that there's no
That's
peeling.
my job too. I do audit. So this young lady is very amazing. When I'm in the meeting, I say, "Shall I let you go? Let's go walk with him."
Yeah, that's it.
And we do that. And
The
whatever
prop,
we
but
need,
yeah,
that's what we do, right?
the property manager should always do a walk around
Oh,
the
yeah,
property
she does.
to make
Because-
sure that everything is there. I like the running of the place here. Right, there's not. I do.
Recording, did you hear him say that?
No.
He said he likes the running of the place.
I do. Well, I do, but you have to remember, I will send you a video if you give me your email of 200 Sherburne.
I'll give it to you.
Okay,
Give my card.
have you ever been to 200 Sherburne? Okay, we did our homeless on graffiti, and I brought a bunch of guys. One of them was signed with Kevin Thompson. I brought a girl Kay Bean and all these different people. And when we went through this stairwell, I could swear that we lost 3 or 4 of our volunteers who just dropped at the bottom of the stairwell. And then we got up to the 4th, and when I got up there, Kevin Thompson is one of the most amazing guys you've ever met. Me and him have gone as recently, but this guy is a strong guy in everything. And when you got to the 4th floor, and when you see Kevin Thompson goes, I said, Kevin, you're one of the toughest men in the city. No, I'm not that tough. And we've done some good work down there, but it's still.
Yeah, we went there about 2 months ago.
But because it's in, and then there's 251 Sherburne. Okay,
the problem
250.
with those buildings
Those-
down there is
And
the
this place
stairwells
here,
opens
like,
up
I
to
mean,
the
I have
ruggies.
some disagreement with Charlotte, but because you say she's an amazing person, I'm gonna take that for it.
No,
And,
she is.
but because you say it for now, I'm gonna investigate her to find out from
I'm so
there.
honored.
But I'm very impressed because you're doing the best with what you have there. Compared to places I've cleaned up, this runs very, very efficient, except for the dog poo and the fence.
Tenants mentioned that last night.
Yeah,
They're
but
really quite
and except for the contractor work, which I don't believe comes from you, where everything is being done at the convenience of the contractors.
They voiced
But
that as well.
but we also
that's
need that the contractors need a supervisor that does not work for the contractor company. So you need somebody, say, who will supervise. So when a contractor finishes work, that supervisor from TCHC will go up there and they have no personal relations, no none, and says, okay, what have you done to? And then they'll take a look at everything and says, okay, satisfy and sign off. So no longer do you just get paid as a contractor for coming and say, I did the work. You get paid as a contractor if the supervisor sign off on your work.
And we're all,
So, Mr.
we've all-
Clarke,
we-
is it Mr. Clarke?
Yes.
we've been a firm believer
So David
that,
last night was at
by
the
asking
meeting.
the
You-
right
you
people
put
here,
that together?
Yes,
they're
that's
telling me your
David.
age.
All right, that's
It's
right.
information. You
Yeah.
see me?
No,
He
most
was there
people.
last night.
Most
I took
people
the notes.
will tell
Sorry,
me
I'm not
all the
recording
negative
because you
things.
don't want to be
They
rude.
say about
That's
the
right.
negative things.
So
This is the problem we
last
have
night
is
Pastor
contractors
mentioned
write
that,
reports about
and there's going to be a work
Of
plan
course they do.
to help
Okay, so
address
that's
that
why
because
Kevin's
it came
suggesting
up. It was
to have
going
a
to be
separate.
to talk to David in about a week or so. My notes
Yes.
should be done.
Well, I'm
by
tied up
Friday.
for the next week because I'm also the chief financial officer for a provincial political party that operates with minimal expense. 2,000 was last year, and I have to file their financial return. I'm also the CFO for 3 riding associations, and whenever I get this pain here, it's hard to concentrate, and it's hard to focus. And, you know, being a CFO, you have to deal with a lot of numbers. So I have to get all these numbers together to my auditor. By not being able to concentrate, it leads to pain. And I've only got now, what they said, 22nd. So our annual return is due on 31st. And I have to give the auditor 3 to 4 days to do his audit. So now I got to get all the figures together, and my eyes are killing me. We couldn't find my glasses this morning. So I have to go through all these figures, and then I've been battling cockroaches for the past week, and I have to do my own treatment. Yes, do them. So it's like, right. So I like it. What my eventual vision for TCHC is that when you walk into this office, it smells good, and it's ordered, and it's together. When you walk into TCHC property, I want it to be the same as the environment you work in. So if you work in an office that's nice and comfortable, then we want tenants to live in a residence that is nice and comfortable, right? But me, I don't get out much. But my main concern now is to see that we can build a common unity among the children of the community, and also teach them that, you know, they're all responsible to each other. And even though we have organizations like the Sri Lankan organization, we have Muslim organization, we have Christian organization, we have Jewish organizations, and all these kids are going in all these different separate ways. I believe in community housing, we must bring these kids together in one unity. Yeah, so we understand diversity, and we understand the different religions, race, and whatsoever. But there has to be a teaching of common unity, that we all have one thing in common. It's not the blood we bleed. It's not the race, the religion, or the sexuality. Those are not what matters. The only thing that matters is that the one thing we all have in common comes out the same color. Comes out the same color, no matter who you are. The breath you breathe, which is the breath of life, is the same color for all.
And we all have a responsibility to one another.
We all have a responsibility.
Just to let you know something, you're going to be happy
We know
with
it.
probably. I don't know if you went or not. Did you see the gym area?
No.
It's a brand new gym area. They updated.
Yeah.
It looks very nice. And accessibility is coming to the building too. This would be for the children and for the tenant, all and the senior and the young person. Right. Also the community room that you came last time, and they're saying to go to community room, that is to be upgraded and accessible. We have a breakfast club here. We have a room, we call it breakfast club, but different organizations come and rent it. But that is going to be upgraded too. That will be done by next year. These two is going to be done by next year.
But it's great to upgrade and have all these facilities, but if the tenants are not utilizing them, so
David, the question is, there's David Association.
So you have to.
And that's where David comes in, right?
Okay.
Because tenants are
Let's
looking
step forward together.
Yeah,
They're
I'll talk to
relooking
Kevin
that, right?
about
Yeah.
him. Kevin, perhaps you might want to work with this David person here. Start building a
No,
tenants
not me,
association.
Grace or Shannon or Shakita, I'm going to bring
Where
in
you can
as
start
the new
with the
party
initial
president.
conversation.
Me, I'm on vacation because I have to figure out. I have to figure out, am I going to take my mom's advice? And my mom wants me to bypass the federal election and look after my kidney and my health.
So what did you say to us in the beginning? You didn't do what to your mom? You didn't? Listen.
No, everybody satisfies this meeting over, so we can deal with the dog poo and the fence.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
So
I don't.
Are we good with this?
Yes, if you want to give me a copy, I can see.
I'm not allowed.
No, that's fine. No problem.
You can get
The one other thing that I'd like to state out, so that we all hear it here, is Kevin. When it comes to filming on property, you have to be very careful.
I know that, dude. I know that.
Just for reinforcement.
Well, but we already know that, young man. Come on, I've ran municipally, provincially, and federally. That means I know all three levels. And I also look out for the rights of the people. If you do the Wikipedia, you will see he looks out for the people's rights. So the only thing we look out is for
clarification.
That's all.
And I appreciate you not recording when I ask.
Well, because of course not. Because it's not about you, right? It's about what we can do. But the only thing I'm concerned about now is the dog poo and the fence, and
So
I'd
the
like to
notes
show.
from last night, David will have them by the end of the week.
Right
And
now,
those are public?
I'm tied for the rest of the week. All I'm doing is my party's return. Right?
So we're working on it.
Yeah.
Tenants mentioned it. They were very vocal last night.
Yeah.
They
So
were very
Kevin, I have a
excited.
question for you. Moving forward now, if something happens, the signage is up, how best do you want us to contact you? How
By
best
my
do you
email.
Yeah.
Yes, you have a
And
pen?
I'll give you my card.
Yeah.
That way you have it. Because
See?
I just want to make sure you're
With-
getting the
with
attention.
full,
One
you
yeah,
need.
second.
with full disclosure if there's a problem. Full
So
disclosure
we're not
of the problem.
just
rather
with
than a
C.
generic letter.
Because there was so much.
R.
Make sure,
E,
you know,
No,
A.
fully
this
understandable.
is a
T.
standard letter we give out. It's
I.
just what we
Yeah,
give.
it's
N.
with Kevin's
G.
particular
I thought
G.
I
situation.
pick up the phone and have a
O.
conversation with
Yeah,
you
that
too,
would probably
right?
be
O.
better.
Now we know
D.
moving forward.
Yeah.
people,
You know, so that would
P-E-O-P-L-E,
not be a problem with
at
it. But it's a generic
gmail.com.
letter we give out, just because it's
Well,
a
so what's my
tendency.
email?
Yeah, but
When you said it and I
I
read it, I'm like, well, why are they asking?
Thank you.
You know?
No, I get it.
Yeah, I get it too.
apologize for
I get-
that.
yeah.
You know, for not being.
But
Anyway,
and I get from your point.
All
of
right,
view
any other
also.
concerns? Because Danny here asked to go.
I didn't even get to say the first time I met you, man.
Well, for anybody who don't know, I'm going to give a props to Councillor Ainsley's office because he hired this man here, Daniel Treyas, who was supposed to be our provincial candidate in Scarborough, Guildwood. And it's ironic that Daniel will end up here at the meeting when he was initially supposed to run for us, and we were also trying to get him to run for city councillor. I'm happy he did not run for city councillor because Councillor Ainsley was in office. And if more city councillors do what Councillor Ainsley does, is to contact the people with the concerns, then you can have meeting like this and eventually lead to where everybody can come together of one mind, that we're all here for the greater good of all of us. Not me.
Councilor Ainsley is my favorite.
Yeah, you know, well,
He's my favorite.
well, you see, Paul shows a plan because Paul, I know Paul's history. Not many people do, and I've really been angry at Paul because of his history. Yes, well, I have to be because I'm on. Well, you're gonna. I'm on. You have to abide by your word, but God works in mysterious ways. In 2006, Paul Ainsley, I believe I went up against him too, if I double check the
He
record.
went against a lot of people.
Yeah, so Paul Ainsley went for an appointment for city councillor. A part of the term of the appointment was that you have to promise not to run the next term. Paul was appointed. Yes, Paul, I'm out and on it. But it's a good thing, Paul. Paul, it's a good thing because if you had abide by your word at that time, then we wouldn't have the good city councillor we have today. So sometimes you have to go on your word if it was an error in judgment. So Paul had to agree that he's not going to run next term. Paul got the appointment, and then next turn Paul sets a precedent, and he teaches you about councillors and politicians. They normally switch their stripe, and Paul ended up running again and winning, and he's been city councillor since then. And last year, I went in front of Tory, and this was my fourth appointment for city council. Yeah, for Scarborough Roots. This was my fourth appointment in 1 year, which has never been done. And at that point, I've already gone through 3, and they keep denying me. And when I was down on Charles Street at the Pride Parade, I saw a guy there with 2 kids, and I made an error in judgment in referring to one of the kids as a boy when it was a girl, as a girl when it was a boy. And at that point, Paul, and at that point, Paul and Paul started talking. And he says, "Oh, Kevin, so did you put your name in?" I said, "Yeah, I did." He said, "Okay, you got my vote." Now, when Paul told me that, my heart really dropped because it humbled me to know that this man here would say that, "Kevin, you are fit to join us on city council, equal as me." But then in the back of my mind, I remember 2006 when Paul said he wouldn't run, and he ran. So now, so now I'm going to this council meeting and I'm saying, I don't know how to prepare. Do I have one vote or is this a virtue? Is Paul going to switch on? So we get into the council meeting. I put on an awesome speech. Halfway through the speech, a guy gets up from North York, Councillor Peruzzo from North York. And while I'm speaking, you'll hear in the video, it's on the John Tory versus Kevin Clarke, June 26th. He says, "You got my vote." And at that point, it was just like, shock. I said, "Whoa. Does that mean I got 2 now?" So, because I don't. So I said, "Just doesn't mean I got 2. Or if Paul goes against his word, then I got 1." So we went through, and then they started counting the votes, and they says, "All right, we've got the votes," and it says so and so, Kevin Clarke 2. And I'm like, "Whoa, you mean I didn't just get 1? I got 2?" And then when they announced it, says, and the votes for Kevin Clarke were Councillor Peruzzo and Paul Ainsley. So remember, Paul may have gone against his word in 2006, but this is 2019. So Paul has learned that if you're not going to, well, we know if he's redeemed, he's just as learned. Don't say